Wrestling Jeopardy! And now, here is your host, Kevin J. Callis!
Do you have what it takes to be the tribal chief of Wrestling Jeopardy?
I've been groomed since I was just a little boy.
Well, we're about to find out because this is the ultimate interactive pro wrestling game show where you're the contestant.
It's just so exciting, I just don't know what to say.
And as always, there are 25 clues on the board, and they come from these 5 categories, beginning with Impact Players, followed by our visual category of the week, Childhood Photos. Our third category is all about D-Generation X members. Our fourth category is trivia about the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. And our fifth category this week was chosen by you, the Mr. WrestleTrivia community. The 3 choices you chose from were Intercontinental Champions, Interpromotional Matches, or Interviews Gone Wrong. Now, I had a lot of comments from some of you really pushing for Interviews Gone Wrong, and we will definitely use that as a category in the future.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Nope.
But with 60% of the vote, this episode's 5th category will be about Intercontinental Champions.
Doing the thing here like nobody ever does before.
And that means it's time for the 200-point job around. 5 simple questions that you should squash like a jobber.
Oh, no!
Here comes the first 200-point clue from Impact Players. At 256 days, he is the longest reigning TNA World Champion of all time, and it was glorious. Few wrestlers were as consistent for as long as Bobby Roode was for Impact Wrestling. On to the first visual clue of the game from Childhood Photos. Who are these 2 cutie pies? And that would be Nikki and Brie, the Bella Twins. Here comes the first 200-point clue from D-Generation X members. He assumed leadership of the group after Shawn Michaels dropped the ball in his loss to Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14. Who is the Game Ma Triple H? Time to tackle some British Bulldog trivia. This clue is worth 200 points. Alongside this tag team partner, WWE audiences first saw Davey Boy Smith as the powerhouse member of the British Bulldogs. As technically sound as anybody to lace up a pair of boots, the Dynamite Kid is among the most emulated superstars of all time. And let's close out the job around with this clue from Intercontinental Champions. Not only did this superstar earn the distinction of being WWE's first undisputed champion, but he also holds the record for the most Intercontinental title reigns with 9. Possessing the heart of a lion, the voice of a rock star, and the will of a champion, who is Chris Jericho? Hey, you. How would you like to be a contestant on Wrestling Jeopardy? Well, it's very simple. For more information, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel.
You just unmade the list!
Yes.
We begin the 400-point round now with this clue from Impact Players. With the help from his then-wife Karen, he triumphed over Samoa Joe at 2007's Hard Justice pay-per-view and became the first wrestler to simultaneously hold all eligible TNA titles. From excellent in-ring performances, Kurt Angle's years at TNA would end up making him perhaps the company's greatest performer. And we're on to another visual clue from Childhood Photos. This one is worth 400 points. Who's this? He was the host of WrestleMania 42. Who is John Cena? On to another clue from D-Generation X members, and it's worth 400 points. After being subjected to Little People's Court, Triple H and Shawn Michaels agreed to let this superstar into the group as their mascot. Although his membership would only last for a month, Hornswoggle provided a little comic relief during DX's PG-era run. Here comes another clue about the British Bulldog, and it's worth 400 points. Introduced in 1997, this now inactive championship crowned its first title holder in a tournament won by Davey Boy. And in the finals, the British Bulldog prevailed over his brother-in-law Owen Hart to become the inaugural WWF European Champion. And let's finish up the 400-point round now with another clue about Intercontinental Champs. A two-time champion, his most enduring moment with the Intercontinental title was in a loss to Bret Hart at SummerSlam 91. Even in defeat, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig was at the top of his game.
Because I am what I say I am, and that's perfect.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
All right, 10 questions down, 15 to go, plus the daily double, a bonus question, and final Jeopardy.
Get ready.
We begin the 600-point round now with another clue about Impact players. In TNA, she was the inaugural and record-setting 7-time Knockouts champion. Just some of the many reasons why she was the first female inducted into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame. Who is Gail Kim? On to another visual clue from childhood photos worth 600 points. Who's this? Look at that little guy all dressed up. Who is Kofi Kingston? We've reached the halfway point of the game now, and here comes the 600-point clue from D-Generation X members. As the group's insurance policy, he left the WWF after the Montreal Screwjob and joined the New World Order in WCW. The first wrestler to be a member of both DX and the NWO, who is Ravishing Rick Rude. Here comes another clue about the British Bulldog, and this one is worth 600 points. After Lex Luger's main event singles push came to an end in 1995, the WWF paired him up with Davey Boy to create this new tag team. Luger and the Bulldog formed a short-lived tag team known as the Allied Powers. And here comes the final clue of the 600-point round from Intercontinental Champs. At the 2018 Extreme Rules pay-per-view, he successfully retained the Intercontinental title, defeating Seth Rollins 5-4 in an Iron Man match. Who is Dolph Ziggler? Now I know that regular Jeopardy doesn't have a bonus question, but that's what makes this game so much fun.
Yay!
Now the way this works is you don't lose any points if you answer incorrectly. However, if you do get the right answer, you will double your score. When Ziggler beat Rollins at Extreme Rules in 2018, it marked the first time that the Intercontinental title was defended in the main event of a WWE pay-per-view since this 2001 WWE pay-per-view. Defended by Triple H in an intense tag team match between the Brothers of Destruction and the two-man power trip, what is Backlash?
Backlash.
Exactly, that's what I said, Backlash.
Backlash.
Okay, well, moving on to the 800-point round now. Here comes the first clue from Impact players. In 2007, he turned down an offer from WWE to feud with The Undertaker out of loyalty to the company. Having spent about 17 years with the company, the longevity of the Monster Abyss makes him a TNA all-time great. On to another visual childhood photo worth 800 points. Who is this? And that would be Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. On to another D-Generation X member clue worth 800 points. The feud between X-Pac and Kane intensified greatly when she betrayed the Big Red Machine and joined DX. Who is Tori? On to another clue from the British Bulldog worth 800 points. In the early 80s, Davey Boy caught the eye of legendary promoter and trainer Stu Hart, who invited him to work for this Calgary, Alberta, Canada-based wrestling promotion. What is Stampede Wrestling? Here comes the final 800-point clue, and it's from Intercontinental Champions. All right, here's another chance for you to really rack up some more points. It's the Daily Double, the category. Once again, Intercontinental Champions. Place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here comes the Daily Double clue. Only 5 men have held the Intercontinental title for a continuous reign of 1 year or 365 days or more. Don Morocco, Gunther, the Honky Tonk Man, Pedro Morales, and this superstar. And he defended the title from February 1986 all the way until WrestleMania 3 in March of 1987, when he fell short against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who is the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Your mustache is crooked.
And we've reached the most difficult round in Wrestling Jeopardy. It's the main event. 5 1,000-point questions guaranteed to put your wrestling knowledge to the test. And we begin with the 1,000-point clue from Impact Players. His first reign as TNA World Champion lasted longer than all 3 of his reigns as World Champion in WWE. While he was only WWE World Champion for a combined 70 days, Jeff Hardy's first reign as TNA World Champ lasted 91 days. And we're on to the final visual clue from Childhood Photos. This is worth 1,000 points. Who is this? Back when he was just a little show, who is the Big Show? Here comes the final clue from D-Generation X members. He arrived at the final WCW Monday Nitro looking for work, only to find out that the promotion had been purchased by the WWF. The Road Dogg drove from his Florida home to Panama City to see if he could secure a spot in WCW, only to find that his prior employer had just bought the company. Here comes the final clue about the British Bulldog. Davey Boy teamed up with Sting to battle Big Van Vader and Sid Vicious in the main event of this 1993 WCW pay-per-view. Now this match was set up by the infamous WCW mini-movie where an evil little person blew up Sting and Davey Boy's boat at the behest of the bad guys somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. No, I'm not making that up. The correct answer is the appropriately titled Beach Blast. Don't go anywhere, Final Jeopardy is up next, but let's close out the board now with this final clue from Intercontinental Champs. The last time that the Intercontinental title changed hands at a house show was on August 10th, 2003, when this current AEW wrestler defeated Booker T in Des Moines, Iowa. Who is Christian? All right, 26 clues are down and only one separates you from becoming the undisputed WrestleTrivia champion. Let's find out what this episode's Final Jeopardy category is. Ballers. All right, time is up. Here is your multiple choice Final Jeopardy clue. In his junior year, Kevin Nash averaged 5.4 points and 4 rebounds a game for what NCAA Division I university? Is it A, the University of Alabama, B, the University of Georgia, C, the University of Florida, or D, the University of Tennessee? You have 15 seconds. Good luck. Now before I reveal the Final Jeopardy answer, big shout out to these contributing editors who are members of this channel, and you can join them and have your name make the list by clicking on the link in the description. It seemed like Nash had a solid chance of playing hoops professionally. However, multiple issues on and off the court led to Big Kev leaving the University of Tennessee altogether and volunteering to join the U.S. Army. Hey, thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.